What's going on, guys? We're back with another edition of the Penn State 365 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Richie O'Leary of HappyValleyInsider.com, aka PennState.Rivals.com. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about football recruiting. I know we've been talking some wrestling earlier this week, but it's been a minute since we talked some football recruiting. But a really, really talented get this weekend, and unfortunately, I missed the commitment announcement. I was down in Scottsdale, Arizona, checking out on some prospects. Cashton Park, a 2027 kid that Penn State just recently offered. Talked to him a little bit. We'll have an article on him later this week. But more importantly, this past Saturday, Penn State landed a top 5 kid in state in the 2027 class. And I don't even want to call him top 5 because I think we have him grossly underrated. He's not only top 5 in state, he's number 187 in the country in 2027 in Khalil Taylor. I also think we shouldn't have him as an all-purpose back. We should have him as a wide receiver because that's what he's going to play at that next level. Went to campus, and the message was just pretty clear. The best in PA, stay in PA. Marquise Higgins built a pretty good bond with him. I'm president of the Marquise Higgins Hater Club, but this is a damn good get here. This kid can take the top off the defense. He's able to create that separation at not only the first level, second level, and even that third level. Big time deep ball threat. You put the ball in his hands, and he's able to get it into the end zone, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. The speed is there. If you just watch his tape, he's super talented. I want to see if I can pull it up real quick, but just a really, really good get. He's their third commitment of the 2027 cycle. They're currently number 3 in the nation for the 2027 class. You partner him with Kemon Spell, who's a very talented back in his own right, top 75 kid. Leighton Von Brandt's number 148 overall, and an offensive lineman out of Delaware. And this is just a damn good class for Penn State. And these are the classes you need for Penn State if you want to take them to that next level and just get into that upper echelon of not only the Big Ten, but upper echelon of college football in general. Really good athlete. He's the best athlete on the field by far when his high school team's playing. He's lined up at just about every position except offensive line and defensive line. He's been used as a running back, a quarterback, a wide receiver, a DB, et cetera, et cetera. The speed is there. The athleticism's there. He kind of does just about everything. His huddle tape just showcases that athleticism. 6 foot 180. He has time to grow. He actually camped at Rutgers last year, was able to watch him a little bit. And he ran a 4.43 there, 40-yard dash, which is extremely impressive. But I think he has game-changer type ability. The kid had offers from Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan State, Nebraska, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, Syracuse, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. I kind of thought he would have a lot more based on his tape alone. But I guess it's more so the fact that kid just really hasn't just taken that many visits. But it sounds like he was all about staying home from the get-go, and it just paid off really well. Let's see if I can pop up his tape real quick for you guys. For those that are watching on YouTube, there it is. What did that say? 24 touchdowns, I think it was. Yeah, 24 touchdowns, 1,200 all-purpose yards. Absolutely insane numbers. Just watch the tape alone. He's just super impressive. You can use him in all different ways. He's able to evade tacklers. He's able to just get away with people from not only his speed, but he has good vision in the backfield too, which is kind of crazy. But he will be a wide receiver. I just need to clarify that again. Because Kemon Spell is that running back stud that they already have in this class. Not that he couldn't be a running back, but he looks a little undersized in his tape. I don't know if he's actually 6 foot, but he's damn close to it. He'll continue to grow too. You got to remember, this is a sophomore film. These kids are going to grow like crazy. Look at that. Like, that's an amazing little play there. You don't see many Penn State wide receivers catch the ball and actually break a tackle and get more yardage out of the play. Even this one, insane ability to get away from just about everyone. I believe this is against Central Catholic. But the fact that he's able to evade all these defenders and just avoid just about every tackle, not only just running away from them, but that elusiveness is just a game changer. This is the wide receivers that Penn State needs in order to transform that room from what it is to what it is currently to that upper echelon that I keep telling you guys about. Like, this is, oh my God, man, like the kick returning ability is kind of insane too. And it adds another factor to everything. He could play kick returner and honestly change the game for you, flip the entire field for you as Penn State. But damn impressive tape, damn impressive get. I think this is probably, when it's all said and done, it wouldn't shock me if he was higher ranked than both Leighton Von Brandt and Kemon Spell. Like, I think he has top 75 ability. Like, just a freak athlete. I know our national analyst, Adam Gorney, had a chance to look over his tape this past weekend. He spoke very highly about him. Thinks he's probably going to end up in like the top 75-ish range. So that's why I kind of say that. I think the ability is there to go even higher. I think the more tape that gets out there, the more he gets to camps, the more we see him. Because I'd be shocked if he doesn't get invited to some of these all-star camps when it's all said and done. But the more better competition he goes against in these camps, the better evaluation we're able to kind of give him. It wouldn't shock me if he ended up being a Rivals 5-star invite after all. That'll be happening in Indianapolis at late June. And that's when the best of the best competition's out there. That's where we saw Kevin Brown last year, 2026 kid who's ranked in the top 50. And that's really where we saw him dominate against top-level comp. And that's where it's like, oh, shit, okay, this kid's legitimately real. It's always nice to see them go against their high school kids, but end of the day, high school tape's high school tape. You also want to see them go against literally the best prospect possible. So we'll wait and see if he gets that 5-star invite. Wouldn't shock me if he did. But, this seemed like it was kind of Penn State from the get-go a little bit. I don't want to say it was always Penn State, but for the most part, he didn't really take other visits. He wanted to stay close to home, and this is just a damn good get for Penn State. And like I mentioned before, this has top 10 level class potential between him. Kemon Spell is really impressive. Reminds me of almost a Saquon Barkley type out of high school, but it is a little bit hard to get a read on him because of the comp he plays. And then Leighton Von Brandt, same thing. Massive kid, huge kid down in Delaware. Again, similar to his teammate, Jasir Rogers, hard to get a gauge on how good they are because they're playing against a lower level competition down in Delaware. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to say here. So the other guy I did want to highlight because we didn't do a podcast on him, and this is my fault. I ended up missing this one completely, but let me pull up David Davis, the 2026 DB out of Amani Christian Academy. And I got to give a shout out to my guy Vic over at Prep Red Zone for this one because he gave me a little bit of a breakdown on him. He's basically just a damn good playmaker. Let me pull up his profile actually for those that are looking on here. Let's see, Chrome tab. There we go. This is a kid that ended up visiting on the 25th and ended up committing immediately after. Wanted to go to Penn State from the get-go. They were a little unsure, but then they got a little bit more tape on him, a couple more measurables on that visit, and that was kind of it. They're like, yo, this is it. We want this kid. Going to play DB at Penn State. I know he's listed as an athlete, but we'll probably play corner to start. Could grow into a safety because he's already 6 foot 200. That's pretty big. But here's what Vic had to say. Big time playmaker. Big Ten playmaker. Could be on special teams at first. Could be a return guy. You could explore his offensive stuff. He does have a little bit there. Solid speed, solid range, length corner. Could find a hybrid type of role for him, and that's kind of goes back to where I was talking about that safety role. But he has like some of the best athleticism that I've seen on tape from a kid from Pittsburgh area, from the Amani Christian area in a long, long time. Like, he is very talented. I'd argue he's probably the most talented kid on his team. And that's no knock on the other guys. It's just that's how good he is. I am very high on both of these gets. I think I'm more high on Khalil, of course. I think Khalil's top 50 level kid. But I think David Davis has a chance to be a 4-star when it's all said and done. I'd like to see him a little bit more in camps, and we might get the chance to see that. I heard there's a chance he might be at that All-22/Elite 11 camp in May at State College. And that's the camp I'm really excited for because not only do a lot of these kids go out to this camp, but a lot of the top region kids in the Northeast are at this camp because they want that Elite 11 invite. They want that All-22 invite. They want end of the day, you want the free Nike gear too, which is always nice. But damn good get from Terry Smith. You got to trust him with your gut no matter who he gets, to be honest with you. He's continually produced. He's continually made Penn State secondary a unit that you really don't have to worry about at all whatsoever. Same could be said for a couple coaches on staff. Phil Troutwine with the offensive line has proven that too. Deion Barnes is starting to get that rep a little bit. Hell, Danny O'Brien with the quarterbacks. You just got to trust these guys. Like, they are just able to produce and recruit and develop at the end of the day. But Two damn good gets for Penn State. I don't really have a lot more to talk about, so it's a little bit of a shorter podcast. I guess, oh, you know what? I take it back. There was two other things I wanted to talk about. Speaking of Kemon Spell, speaking of Penn State recruiting, Messiah Mickens, 2026 running back commit, 2027 running back commit in Mickens and Spell. Both came out and said that they're done. They're locking it down. This is huge because Messiah Mickens had two official visits other than Penn State, one to North Carolina, one to Notre Dame. Kemon Spell was also getting pushed by Notre Dame. We know Jawan Sider's over there. Excuse me. Jawan Sider played a big role in landing him at Notre Dame. Landing him at Penn State. And there was one moment where I was a little sketched, and I really thought that Notre Dame might flip Messiah Mickens in the end. We were told they had a significant NIL bag on the table for Messiah Mickens, and they were ready to go. They just wanted him to flip. Couldn't end up doing it, which is huge. Kemon Spell, similar things. Also had Notre Dame after him. Also had a UCLA offer since he committed to Penn State. But still, you're able to keep these kids both committed and keeping them both happy. This is very, very big for Penn State to not only beat out a former assistant coach, but beat out a school that was willing to throw some significant money at these kids. So huge, huge, huge. Can't stress that enough because, like I said before, Messiah Mickens was getting a little sketchy there with the recruitment. Kind of thought he might end up elsewhere. But, yeah, Stan Drayton, man. They met him. They got to talk to him. They started forming that relationship between running back and future position coach. And, man, this is just a damn good job by Penn State. Recruiting's back on the up and up. It was down for a little bit. I know the February dead period kind of put us all in a little bit of a whack, a little bit of a funk, because we just had no news. And then on top of that, you were also seeing kids you're seeing big men like offensive linemen just commit left and right to whether it be Clemson or somewhere else down south. So it was getting a little negative for times, but we are back. We are back. That was a little corny. I'm not going to do that again, but it's good news for Penn State. They landed a good kid in Khalil Taylor. They landed a good kid in David Davis, and then they also just reaffirmed commitments from Kemon Spell and Messiah Mickens. Huge kind of week and a half, if you want to call it that, from about 7 days actually. Huge week for Penn State these past 7 days, and can't stress enough that recruiting is on the up and up, and plenty more kids are coming to campus this weekend. Plenty more kids were on campus last week. I know this past Saturday, along with Khalil Taylor. Let me pull out that list real quick. Along with Khalil Taylor, along with what was this past weekend? Oh, I didn't even mention Peyton Falzone was on campus as well, which is very interesting to me. The quarterback out of Nazareth area, Pennsylvania, was on campus again. We know he likes Penn State a lot, but he doesn't feel too comfortable from what I was told being a QB2 in the class. We know Penn State also was recruiting that tight end originally. Now they shifted a little bit towards quarterback more. I think he's a really talented quarterback. He's working with Brad Mandelier, who was Drew Alar's QB trainer out in Ohio. He was Ethan Grunkemeier's QB trainer. He also worked with a couple other Penn State guys during the offseason and several other Power 4 guys in the offseason. So something to keep an eye on there. I do think if anything was to happen with Troy Hun, but Troy Hun, mind you, on campus yesterday, today, and the next day, going to see 2 practices for spring, is also solidly committed. Would they take that second quarterback in Falzone? 100%. They would love it. Is it going to happen? I'm going to lean towards no right now. Messiah Mickens was on campus last weekend. Good to get him back. That's what kind of reaffirmed things. A couple St. Francis guys. I hate I'm going to be honest here. I hate to look at St. Francis guys as Penn State targets just because they haven't landed one in God knows how long. And even when they get really close to landing one, they still don't land them. So it's like, let's hold our horses there. Other names, Brandon Lockley, a top 27 kid from Pennsylvania, New Jersey. A couple Jersey boys came up to, or shouldn't say came up to, they came over to campus because it's just a straight line across. Aiden O'Neill to Don Bosco Prep. First visit, technically. Second trip to campus because he camped there last year. Really high-level kid out of Don Bosco Prep, really early on for him. He's trying to kind of just get feelers out there, taking some visits. I know he's going to Illinois, Boston College, Rutgers, and Ohio State. So a lot of big names after him. Brian Porter, the wide receiver out of Bergen Catholic, younger brother of Quincy Porter. We know Quincy Porter was very high on Penn State, even visited campus late in the process while committed to Ohio State, but ended up signing with Ohio State. But there was a close moment where I thought he would actually flip, and he was very close to doing so. But Ohio State kicked the tires a little more and made sure he was solidly committed. I'd keep an eye on Brian Porter because if Ohio State doesn't push for him, I think Penn State has a damn good shot. Jonathan Galletti, St. Joe's regional athlete / safety, came to campus, walked away with an offer. A little bit on the smaller side. I think he's more like 5'11", I'd say 5'10", 5'10 and a half, 5'11-ish. Talented kid, very talented kid, but walked away with an offer. A kid that's going to be one to keep an eye on. Who else? We also had Luel Aleu, offensive lineman out of Winton Woods, Ohio, was on campus yesterday on Tuesday. He was joined by, like I said before, Troy Hunn, Brady Scott, and Javian Robinson. Kind of a mixed bag of recruits there. Out of the four of them, obviously, Hunn has an offer. The other three don't have offers from Penn State, but Luel Aleu is a guy that I could see getting an offer from Penn State. That's pretty much it. This weekend's going to be fun, though, because tight end Max Sutter comes to campus, probably their number one tight end target on the board. Shouldn't say probably, he is. Wouldn't shock me if he walked away committed, to be honest with you. I think he'll probably wait till his official visit to commit, but it could happen sooner. Tavian Branch, an interior offensive lineman for Penn State, defensive tackle for some others, has a top list. Well, I'm sorry, his top schools of Oklahoma, Rutgers, and Penn State. Those first two are recruiting him as a defensive tackle. Sounds like Oklahoma's in the lead right now, but this is a kid that we submitted a future cast for Penn State a long time ago, and we still feel pretty confident in it. A couple linebackers, Nick Abrams, Matthew Kanu. There we go. Struggling today. Virginia linebacker coming up to campus, Nick Abrams from McDonough School. We know there's a great relationship there. Plenty of his former teammates are on the team. I'd keep an eye on those two. I think they're interesting prospects. I think Matthew could end up being a Penn State guy, just kind of limited his list down there. It's either 6 or 8, but either way, I see Penn State in the long haul for that one. But that's pretty much it. Then we'll wait till next week. Next week is Jackson Samuels Ford, Cannon Smith from Colorado, Brian Bonner, top ranked 26 running back, which is interesting to me because they're still recruiting a second running back despite Messiah Mickens being committed, which, I mean, that's fine. That's what they kind of like to do. And they've proven time and time again. Look at what they're doing right now with Katron and Nick. Like, they're just going to keep piling on running backs in that running back room, even without Jawan Sider, with an arguably more talented coach, which I said when he was hired, in Stan Drayton. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But so far, so good with recruiting. It's going to get interesting. We started making a pretty solid list for a blue-white game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 18 names confirmed for blue-white already. That's growing every day. If you want to check that out or any of our other recruiting visitor lists, check out the Lions Den forum. For those of you that are looking on YouTube, here's a quick little preview. Right here, go to the top and running recruit list. Plenty of names there. We have plenty of stuff. We got the Ask the Experts going on. We got what underclassmen on the team should you keep an eye on. Plenty of NFL draft talk, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot going on right now at Penn State, from draft talk to recruiting to spring ball. Blue-white games right around the corner. What are we, 24 days away? So it's getting very exciting. So keep an eye out for all that other good stuff. Basketball portal stuff's going on too. Penn State has not much coming back, but they're going to have to add a couple pieces. They are adding some nice freshman pieces, I'll admit that, but it takes more than freshmen to win, as several of the teams in the Final Four can kind of prove it to you. But that's about it for me and everyone else here at happyvalleyinsider.com, a.k.a. pennstate.rivals.com. That's another episode of the Penn State 365 podcast. Signing off.